Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Things Going Wild on Horseback. Anna's riding adventure is about to start. Ready for some heartwarming secrets? Paul nearby said, Anna, don't just look at the ceiling when mounting. Step up, then sit slowly. After this little adventure, Anna and the horse-built trust, truly a whimsical intersection of fate. Anna is a born-heart little superhero who's been dodging vigorous workouts since childhood. One day, Anna stole a small motorcycle at home, raced the police in the rain like wind, then collapsed with a thud in the forest. During the rescue, Anna seemed to meet a candy-loving horse hero that just guarded her while munching on her leftover sweets. Talk about after a thrilling night of rescue, Anna was out of danger. Paul, the seasoned horse trainer, bought a horse on loan, truly a horse-loan guru. After months of training, the horse remains unruly like a child who just had 2 cups of coffee, and Paul's wallet is nearing empty. Otherwise, the bank is going to take away her farm, and Anna and Paul haven't been in touch for years, nearly becoming long-lost friends. Subtitles. Paul is hoping that Sabrina will apply for an extension of his repayment period. However, even after more than 10 years, his daughter still can't forgive her father. What a total mess. Anna had heart surgery at 8, but during her teenage years, it felt like she went through a mini-heart civil war. The doctor advised Anna to try new surgery, her heart's as fragile as glass, despite her rebel look. This intense contradiction made Anna reject everyone's goodwill, including her loving parents. What a little rebel princess. Anna has a good friend, Tommy, both sporting the same patient badge. What a pair of struggling buddies. Anna considered trying and vowed to apply, but was so angry she ground her teeth, having no idea what to do except plan their funeral. Once her condition stabilized a bit, Anna often dreamt of the horse, like the horse was discussing life with her in her dreams. The next day, at the incident site, Anna rode her little bike and began a detective adventure. She stumbled upon a horse sprint by the country road, truly an old friend she hadn't seen in ages. Seeing the bond between Anna and Spirit, Paul took her to the racetrack where the horses dashed away while the warriors fought valiantly. They raced in the wide arena, manes flowing, just like the Fast and Furious but with horses. Each rider and horse displayed passion on the track. It was a venue where dreams took flight. This isn't just a race, it's a quest for dreams between human and horse, and the vibrant scene had Anna's heart racing. Paul's friend Shrek became curious about Anna. It was like the youthful Sabina had returned. Faced with Shrek's questions, Paul was silent, still as a mountain, like a tiger unwilling to tell a tale. Eventually, Paul opened up to Anna, saying he had been training horses for 50 years but now had a super-fast horse that no one could tame. But Anna, the sleeper hit, earned Spirit's approval, and Paul wanted her to undergo training for the race in 2 months. Paul promised Anna 10% of the prize, but Anna was hesitant after all. Her heart wasn't exactly normal. Next day, Paul arrived at the stable and found Anna already waiting with wide eyes. After some haggling, they reached a deal for 20% of a day's training was dull, just circling the corral, but Anna was as tired as a wing-clipped bird, eager to recharge at home. She told her parents about mysterious work at the stable, leaving them as worried as matchmaking kin. After all, their daughter's safety was paramount, but after constant pushing from Anna, the parents reluctantly agreed to her wishes. What hassle indeed. Gradually, Paul started to familiarize Anna with racing, specifically showing Shrek's race footage just to let her enjoy the excitement. Shrek was an excellent rider, but after a fiery training incident, he buried his own career. Anna's parents were truly worried about her safety, yet at this point, they were also somewhat dubious what a tangled web. Anna's parents asked Tommy to supervise her. Learning shed race, Tommy worried silently, but Anna was determined. Whatever she did carried risks. She had had enough of heart issues, and Paul's 2-month deadline had arrived. The bank was about to take back her farm. Although the daughter held grudges against her father, Sabina still managed to buy him 3 more months. If Yana wished to secure a spot in the Grand Prix competition, she first had to obtain an amateur jockey certification. Subsequently, Paul led her to a small grove to commence their training day. So Anna hopped on Spirit and raced with fervor, galloping from grass to woodlands and back, truly a horse racing frenzy. They didn't feel exhausted. Instead, they got faster and faster until Paul marveled that their speed nearly hit 70 km/h. Eventually, Anna's stamina gave way, and she fell onto the grass, but her speed had reached champion levels. How impressive. Gradually, Anna learned racing rules, finding a few whip taps are allowed in the final sprint time to rake in cash. Obviously, Anna wouldn't whip Spirit. This made Paul very pleased, truly filling him with satisfaction. Because truly good riders don't need to whip, they just need to mimic the action, and the horse understands. What a perfect connection. Finally, it was time for the qualifying exam. Paul was about to test Anna's stamina to see if she could truly become a knight. This was an electric horse simulator, allowing for an extended race rhythm. Initially, Anna seemed to handle it. But as speeds intensified, Anna's horse struggled under pressure, thumping harder until Shrek had no choice but to halt the test. Finally, Anna left the room feeling miserable, thinking, "I'm truly a brave warrior." If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and continue following Anna's adventure.